All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
And we are live. I know it's about 3 minutes too early, 3 minutes before time, but give me some slack if I ever run 3 minutes late. Remember March 5th, 2026? We were 3 minutes early. So we're here. Round two, round one recap, Arnold Palmer Invitational. I can only wear this hat for so many shows. So today, tomorrow, Saturday, I'm going to be wearing this Bay Hill hat. And I don't care what you say, because this is a fire hat. Let's get right into it. Bring up the screen. We see Daniel Berger shooting 63 out the gates, and then a bunch of guys 6 under, 5 under, 66, 67, 68 was a really, really solid round in these conditions we saw today. And I'm not going to go through player by player, but basically what we saw from all of these guys up top was just like pure ball striking. It wasn't really anyone getting too hot with the putter, which could happen in any single scenario, any random scenario. And it wasn't crazy driving accuracy. It wasn't crazy driving distance. It was just pure tried and true ball striking, which is what we expect around Bay Hill week in, year out. So I'm kind of happy with that. Just like it's predictable. It should be predictable going forward in Friday, Saturday, Sunday showdown. And I didn't go too heavy in week-long contest this week because I kind of wanted to see how it was going to play out, and I kind of wanted to see how the guys were hitting it, truly, because at a golf course that really rewards pristine ball striking, this is a spot where we can use our tools, use our edges, use the stats alone, and just find some of that solid ball striking. So like I said, Daniel Berger with a 63, that is probably going to be the round of the week. I don't see anyone doing that again as it gets a little bit more firm. Let's talk wave split, what we saw today. We were definitely right about this. I didn't talk about it. Actually, I did talk about it in the podcast, but I also answered in the Discord. The morning did play easier, and I'm expecting a little bit more of that for tomorrow. So the morning played almost 2 full strokes easier. I actually am surprised by how much of a difference that was. So you see minus 1.08 in the morning and then plus 0.69 in the evening. So overall, what is that? Minus 0.19. Played around par. So anything under par today is a really, really solid round going forward. So that's how the wave split was today. Let's look at the weather for tomorrow and see what we are working with. So Friday the guys are going to go off again around 7:40 a.m. I believe it's 7:40. Let's see. 7:40 a.m. tomorrow. So call it 8 o'clock. Blowing around 7 mile an hour, up to around 10 mile an hour. The gusts are basically what we saw today, 12 to 18. And then around here, it gets to 20 mile an hour gust. And I did note that once we see it blow over 10 miles an hour, you really feel it. I know this is 4 p.m., but if there's a little delay here with some thunder or lightning, maybe they're going out at like a 30-minute delay. They're going out at 5:45, 6. They can get those rounds in. So I do think there could be an edge going out a little earlier like there was today. So that's kind of what I'm going to be looking for. I'm not going to stack it all the way, but I do. Wait, are we getting some thunder tonight? Yeah, we're getting a little bit of rain. This is probably negligible rain. Like this was actually today. Probably didn't even come in. A little bit of thunder in the evening. I don't think it's going to be anything significantly, but if it even does happen tonight or this afternoon, whatever, I think this morning wave just gets amplified a little bit more. So with that being said, I do think I'm going to be stacking that, not 4-2, but I'm going to be giving it like a nice little look, a harder look than I will be giving the afternoon. That is for sure. So next thing I want to talk about in terms of stats, what we're looking for is what we saw today. We're looking for pure ball striking. Like I don't want to overthink it. I don't want to lean into one specific area because one, there's multiple ways to do it. You can do it with distance or accuracy. And two, what we saw today was just hit gain off the tee, gain on approach, and go from there. So that's what I'm going to be looking at going forward for this round 2 showdown. Next thing I want to touch on is some of the contests. I'll say right now, the $10 18 max is the way to play tomorrow. In my opinion, if you only want to put in sub $200. Outside of that, I have a thing for this $55. I think it's at 11 max tomorrow, $55 12 max. But it switches up. Sometimes it's $55 9 max, 8 max. I really do like this $55 contest. I love that because there's only so many people in here. If you're entering 12 lineups in this and there's only 413 max entries, you have a really good stronghold on the field. So I really do like this lineup for what you're getting. $55 9 max. Outside of that, we have the single entries are always solid. There's $12 albatross. Well, there's always different amounts of albatrosses. The payout structures are different too. So look at which one you're playing. This 3K albatross, $300 up top to $50 at 10 place. Like, I don't think this is the best payout. Genuinely, I don't think this is the best contest, but sometimes we get like a 6K albatross or an X amount albatross, and that has a much better payout in my opinion. So always take a look at which $12 lineup you're looking at, because I've made the mistake of entering the 3K contest when I wanted to enter the 6K contest, or vice versa. So whatever you're looking for, whether that's a more balanced from 1 to 10, whether that's heavier at the top, they have contests for you. So just be aware of what you are looking at. All right, before we get into the glaring weaknesses, as I like to call it, the players we want to see for tomorrow, here are the tools that you are going to use. These showdown projections will be updated. It's 7 p.m. right now, probably around maybe while I'm doing the stream. They should be updated very soon. So once you get up on the site, peep the showdown projections. Anyone in your lineup that, or in this pool that you might want to make your lineup, go into the optimizer, start them off, sort by points per dollar, sort by ownership, whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to use our projections for, there's a way and there's a will to get that shit done. The stone will be updated within the next probably 40 minutes to an hour as well, where sometimes it will highlight players that you just need to use, or highlight great fades, great pivots. So use that stone. Use what the code that's in the description. It's also at the top of your screen. 10% off lifetime and code boots. Go over right here. If you like single sport, just join me for PGA. PGA plus optimizer, Saber Sim. Get a ton of good knowledge here. Or if you want every single sport, why not just get all access? Because it is Thursday and college basketball is coming. But I don't think we dabble in college basketball. But I'm sure the Discord people do. Nonetheless, MLB is coming. That's for sure. I know a lot of people play well in MLB DFS. Not me. Just a golf guy. All right. Next thing I want to touch on is some of the glaring weaknesses. Some of the look at everyone's stats, see who did what, how they did it, and who could improve for tomorrow. So Daniel Berger, like I said, solid off the tee. I think he led the field on approach. He's got 2 really, really solid approach rounds back to back, or approach weeks. Remember what my player, the player that I was on for round 4 of the Cognizant was Berger. We were round too early. We were 1 round too early, of course. So Berger, a great showing today and a great stat line going forward. Ludwig, really solid to see this, because I was not high on his approach play. I mean, how could I have been? It's been really bad for the last few weeks, and it looked bad on Tuesday when I was there. So good to see Ludwig finding something with the ball striking. I think there's a really solid profile going forward. Nothing too crazy. 1 off the tee, 1.5 on approach. The putter was good today, but I think he can gain another 2 strokes putting. Like, why can't he? Colin Morikawa, a 0 around the green, plus 2.5 putting, solid approach. If he could hit a few more fairways, he could have a great round. And we know Colin Morikawa is very accurate. So I think Colin is a really, really good look. Now, this profile is one I'll be fading for tomorrow, Jonathan Vegas. And I know some people were in the Discord saying that they saw a poor Vegas report. I gave you a poor Vegas report, and you got a poor Vegas day stat-wise. He not great off the tee, not very average on approach. Was I going to be able to tell you that Jonathan Vegas was going to gain 3 strokes around the green? No, I'm sorry. I wasn't going to tell you that. And another stroke and a half on the putting surface. This is not a sustainable stat line. I do not expect Johnny Vegas to come close to another round of 67. I just really, really don't. So Cameron Young, a really solid stat line, a guy that I probably will be wanting to look at tomorrow. Gained 2.5 strokes off the tee, another 2 on approach, and he didn't really get hot on the greens yet. And we know he can get scorched earth on the green. So I really do like that profile from Cameron Young for the guys at the top. Some guys at the bottom who I think could improve somewhere. Chris Gotterup, I feel like every single week he has one of these weeks where it's really good, really good, really good, really bad. So I don't necessarily see this just turning around, this putter I'm talking about, because he'll have weeks where his putter's really bad, his iron's really bad, and just one thing is not in the right spot for Goddard. So I wouldn't necessarily chase that putter from Goddard. Who else? Who else? Who else has a stat line where they could pop? Harris English is finding things for sure. And I like this. Like Harris English is generally a really good driver, and he didn't even drive it that well today. Still shot 3 under par. So if Harris can find a few more fairways, drive a little better, that could lead to a 5 under, 6 under round maybe. I do not mind that at all. This Bud Cauley round is something that I'm going to be fading for sure. I'm not that Bud Cauley is a easy fade per se, but lost strokes off the tee, lost strokes on approach, all short game. Nothing really to write home about, like nothing glaringly horrible, but someone that I really wouldn't be attacking tomorrow. This is a nice profile that could potentially bounce back. Maverick McNeely shot 200 today, super clean, about a stroke off the tee, which is the blueprint, the baseline is of what you want. And he lost a half a stroke on approach. Maverick's been really solid with the approach this year and just like the last year and a half of his golf career. So he had a nice short game week, a nice putting nice putting day. I would not be surprised if Maverick pops a 65 tomorrow because he has the blueprint with the driver. Who's this? Justin Rose. Really solid approach day. Drove it kind of like shit. He had to have gotten really good lies. Like, I don't see this really being too sustainable, getting that much on approach while losing that much off the tee. He had to have gotten really good lies in the rough, which is not something I'd want to chase for tomorrow. I don't mind this at all from Sahith, though. Sahith gaining a little bit off the tee, a little bit on approach. He has the elite short game to gain 6 in that category. So those are guys that I'm looking for potentially. Not all official that I've talked about, but potentially some guys you could see in the slate plan. I'll also shout out Daniel Bennett making his debut, freshman at Texas, and shooting 1 under at Bay Hill. Like, that's playing golf for sure. Nico Echeverria ended up shooting even par. That's funny. After he was like, what did he do on this back 9? Bogey 8 on 12. I did not see this. That's so funny. Damn, 30-42. That looks like one of my rounds. That actually looks like one of my rounds. Not today, but it looks like one of my rounds. That's insane. Jesus. All right. Who else did something that we could potentially chase for tomorrow? Bob Mack. No, not Bob Mack. Nikolai for sure. Nikolai was about -7 ball striking, came with a bad driver. I tell you guys how volatile he is. Short game was fine. If he has one solid ball striking round, we know how low he can go. Look what he did on Sunday at wherever it was, Cognizant Classic. So those are some guys that I like to call glaring weaknesses. And that will lead us to the one golfer that I am on. Drum roll, Command F. Type it in, Corey Connors. Corey Connors is the one golfer that I am on. We talked about him earlier in the week as a guy with a good course fit, a guy that just is due to pop, is going to pop soon enough. And he did have a nice round today. And this stat right here, the approach, we know how good Corey Connors is on approach. And if we're looking at like a linear map, it's here, like it's getting there. It's been red, it's been here, and now we see the 0.8 gain in one round. We're due for 1.4, then 1.6, then a 2. If we just keep slowly waiting for this Corey Connors approach to go back to where it usually is, he's going to have a great round. And I love that he gained a little bit on the greens. Corey Connors gaining about a stroke per round short game is beautiful for him. So Corey Connors is the one golfer that I am on for tomorrow. And as always, I see those Nap comments. Like, it's a true, what are you going to do? We are going back to early guys tomorrow for sure. But like Jake Knapp gets withdrawn. Luckily, I'm not on him. I feel like I was on the last 2 withdrawals. So, but it's just part of the game. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. It's like sometimes in betting, when you're betting like MLB run lines, a game gets rained out and you're on the losing team, and you're like, yeah, let's go. This is a void. Or you're on the winning team and you're like, damn it, this would have been an easy cash. So you win some, you lose some. Stay tuned. The slate plan is coming up, and in probably around 15, 20 minutes once I get off the stream. And what else? As always, the song of the day is going to be Running with Scissors by IC Stars. And I'll be back tomorrow, probably around 5:30 tomorrow for the round 3 showdown. And as always, let's ship it. Catch you guys soon.